Meanwhile, men's world number one Novak Djokovic has defended a proposal to soften Australian Open players' quarantine, insisting he wasn't being selfish, difficult and ungrateful. Andrea Crothers is in Melbourne. Andrew, this is after a media storm erupted over the Joker's recommendations. And the interesting thing is he's not under these big restrictions. He's got life pretty good. So he's just saying, hey, I'm trying to stick up for the others. Of course, we know he's trying to get support in his breakaway Players Association group that he heads up now.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot happening behind the scenes, Tom. But in terms of this, I guess it's yet another star who's seeking forgiveness online. This time, Novak Djokovic, he issued this statement, which was quite a lengthy one, on Twitter late last night. Now, this was all over those 6 recommendations which he put forward to Tennis Australia's boss, Craig Tiley, which included moving those 72 locked-down players out of those quarantine hotels over to private houses to continue training. Now, Djokovic insists that this was simply done out of good intentions for his fellow competitors, in a statement saying they were misconstrued as being selfish, difficult and ungrateful. This couldn't be farther from the truth. And as he said, the Joker, he actually isn't under that hard lockdown. He instead is in Adelaide. He was seen smiling on a balcony and doing a bit of training with his coach there yesterday. So he is able to leave his room for those 5 hours of training every day. He did also go on to say in that statement that I earned my privileges the hard way, hence I use my position of privilege to be of service as much as I can, where and when needed. Now, Djokovic also expressed some gratitude towards Tennis Australia, the government, as well as our citizens for taking the risk and allowing the Australian Open to go ahead. But as for the women's world number one, our very own Ash Barty, she's also weighed in on this, calling for some perspective amid these quarantine grumblings that have really been taking off online. She says that she can understand the frustrations many players would have, but that the health and safety, particularly of those here in Melbourne, must be the number one priority. Now, Barty, when she does go on this year to play in the Australian Open and tries to clinch her first title here, she'll have more than just a home ground advantage, Tom, because unlike all of those players who have flown in and have had to quarantine, the 24-year-old didn't come in from overseas, so she's been able to train somewhat as normal.